Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Johnny signing in again from Johannesburg, South Africa. I want to tell you about the power of LifeWays X39. It reactivates your own stem cells in your body, and you get up to 4,000 new genes in your body, which fights any disease and issues in your body. So it's a non-invasive patch. It looks like this, and you stick it on parts of your body. And when it's a part of your body, it reactivates your copper peptide in your brain, which reactivates your stem cells in your body. So it's not like big pharma's here. Stem cell injection that costs you over 25,000 US dollars, and you can only get it in certain countries, and your body can reject it. There's only a 50% uh, working rate of the injection. This medical patch, my own point of view, this activates your own stem cells in your body and creates new genes. I put out a testimonial every week of an issue or a disease of what people are struggling with out there in the world. We hold over 200 worldwide patent rights on this medical patch. Remember, it's my point of view, my own point of view. And you can only get it from one of the brand partners at LifeWays. We sell directly to the people that need it. We don't market it in big business where everybody has to put a markup up, and then it'll be out of the reach of the people that really need it. So that's what we do. So today I want to welcome you to the Lifeway family. And remember, it's the only technology of its kind in the world today. So my testimonial of the week would be right up here, week number, and then in red you'll get the testimonial of the week. Your first video will give you testimonials from people that are on this medical patch and what it's done for them and how it's helped them. And then the video thereafter would be a full presentation of how to wear this product and what you can get out of it, the benefits you can get out of it, and all that type of thing. And then on the last video, you'll find my contact details. So if you have a disease that you would like to see testimonials on that specific disease, or like high blood pressure or sugar diabetes, I will send you testimonials from all over the world with people that are on the medical, my own point of view, the patch, and then you can see for yourself what it's done for those people. So on the last video, you'll find QR codes from YouTube, from Rumble, and from BitChute. That is the long videos that will tell you all about it, and you can see the testimonials and how the presentation of how this works. And then if you're one of the people that struggle with data and that, you can follow me on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and X, and you'll find a QR code of my WhatsApp channel. And next to that, there's a QR code taking you direct to my email address. And on the other side of the page, you'll find Telegram. So if you want to use Telegram, you can scan that and go into my Telegram account. Guys, if you go into BitChute, we've got hundreds of followers, but no subscribers. Very few subscribers. Guys, please subscribe so that we can get to millions more people out there. My Rumble account, it's exactly the same. We got viewers, but no subscribers. Please subscribe there. Or on my YouTube channel. I got a few subscribers, but I had hundreds more, thousands more. YouTube took it down and I lost all those subscribers. So please subscribe there again. And there's there you can drop me a cup of coffee or something to help me keep all this work up on all those channels. And please follow me on the smaller channels such as Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, and X. Follow me there, and so we can get to millions of more people that need this miracle patch. Oops, my own point of view. This patch, you just stick it on a part of your body. It's a non-invasive patch, so nothing's going into your bloodstream. So if you're on tablets, you can still wear this. This is just activating your body to work, not in your bloodstreams and going in all over like big pharma's Smarties, and they give you a tablet for this and a tablet is something else in your body. So this is a non-invasive patch. So guys, thank you for being here, and you'll see me again next week for the next one, and we'll take it from there. Remember, the testimonial of the week is up, yeah? It's in red, and the week number. So thank you for being here, and hope to see you on the last page, and we'll take it from there. Thank you, and enjoy the week and enjoy the weekend. See you next week.
I know you have an amazing story about your daughter, Ariana.
Yes.
I hope I pronounced that correctly. Ariana.
Yes.
It's a beautiful,
Ariana.
beautiful name, by the way. I love that name.
Thank
you. Why don't you go ahead and tell the folks what's been happening with Ariana?
So thank you for having us. It's wonderful to be here. And we are quite new to the stem cell patches, the X39, and we are getting abnormally good results, which is amazing. So my little girl was born with special needs with many problems, but basically she started moving a little bit more, and she wasn't gaining enough weight, and she has scoliosis, osteoporosis, she has vision issues, hearing issues. And we went to California, and we find a very good chiropractor, Dr. John Bergman, in Huntington Beach. So she was treating Ariana. We were getting amazing results, but because she was underweight, she was 24 pounds at 12 years, which is a quarter of a normal for her age. She caught a virus. And we've been to 3 emergencies at the end because she was also underweight. They started a feeding tube to feed her, an NG tube through her nose to her stomach, and they misplaced it into her lungs. So her lungs filled up with water by the next day, and she almost died. So I don't know if anybody knows about the blood gases. Then they do a finger prick. So the CO2 basically shows the strength of your lung, how strong your lung. As the normal CO2 around 40 something, hers was 120, above 70 it's critical. And it's
Wow.
also showing the strength of your lung, how strong your muscles are, how much you can blow off your CO2. So you can imagine if you have too much CO2, it's like inhaling exhaust from a car. You're basically choking on your CO2. You can't push it out. You can't exchange the blood gases. You can't oxygenate. So she had this little accident. We came back to Canada and she was not doing good. She had to have a surgery to have a permanent G-tube to being fed through her stomach. And she was getting worse and worse and weaker. So I'll show you around, which is one in a lifetime opportunity. She started 2 non-invasive devices. This is a BiPAP, which gives you an extra breath, very strong. And her settings were as strong as an adult. But it wasn't, she used this at the nighttime. So we had to add a high flow, which is a continuous higher pressure than the normal air enriched with oxygen and humidity. So then the last 2 days, she was getting worse and worse. And she was actually introduced to palliative care, which is, people who the doctor thinks they're not going to make it. Palliative care support. And you can see her diagnosis from her Montreal Children's Hospital. This is going to be interesting. So I don't know if you can see it. Chronic respiratory failure, necessitating non-invasive ventilation at night with bilevel positive airway pressure is the BiPAP. Oxygen dependent with nasal cannula daytime and with the BiPAP at night. Developmental delay, inability to feed by mouth, severe scoliosis, hypotonia, legally blind, palliative care. So many issues, many issues. At the meantime, she's following, she's very smart, very intelligent. She, be using flashcard systems. She can read hundreds of words. She can count in the thousands. Intelligence has nothing to do with the ability to express it. It's just the communication between the brain and the body. So while we were in California, we met Heather Hineker at the Ascent Adopt, who's also representative for the stem cell patches. And she's always keeping us updated. And she was the one who sent us some samples in Canada in August. So my daughter's CO2 was here. The red is all critical. So since 2009, December, and even before 2009, September, she was in a critical levels. But after 12 days of using, she went from 76, which is very dangerous, to 62. That's a big drop.
Wow.
That was after 12 days of using.
Wow.
And yeah, so what happened, Heather sent us the samples. We started to use them on the 4th of August. And it's interesting timeline. We used it at the 12 samples for 12 days. So we finished on August 16. But, she's very sensitive with the temperature. She got a little bug at the same times. So I ran out of samples. Ariana had to go to the hospital with an ambulance because she had fever and she started vomiting. So usually in this case, she's very close to passing on. It happened before a couple of years. But as we got to the hospital, they checked her finger and her CO2 was lower, which with the fever, dehydration, and the bug, it's not normal. So it's abnormally good. And, that's when I know that that's the patch. And she already haven't used the BiPAP because it gives you so much pressure. If she had fever, I had to hydrate her. She would, sorry to say, but to throw up. So then she would choke. It would be really dangerous. So even though she haven't used much that kept her alive and breathing for the last 2 years, her blood gases and she was sick and dehydrated, her blood gases was much better. So I asked the doctor to take another test without the other machine. And she was actually even lower without any support. So her body is working to heal. The stem cells are going to the lung. She's taking bigger breaths. She used to breathe like, and now she's taking nice, steady breath, bigger breath. Also, I have a saturation and blood pulse monitor, which is on day and night. And she used to be hardly in the 90s. Now she's 97, 98 to 100. I have the blood test. And after that, she started to, after I ordered more, I called Heather and I said, okay, I want more. I want to be I want to be part of this. And I became part of the company. We received more patches. The next day we came home from the hospital. Her saturation was 95. I put on the patches. It went to 98 just in a few minutes. So I was very impressed. And a week later, we stopped using. Yes, you're amazing. You have a story to tell. And that a week after, so in the third week of using it, we stopped using the other non-invasive life support. So since then, she's been only on oxygen. But even before, she was on 3 liters on oxygen. Right now, she's only on 1 liter of oxygen. And there's another test that the doctors do to see how strong is your lung, which is called the Rumer test. So we turn up the oxygen concentrator, remove her cannula, and see how long she can stay above 90 saturation without anything, without supplemental oxygen on her own. Mm-hmm. And before, the maximum was 2 minutes rarely. Sleepyhead. And after, she started with 5 minutes and she went to 10 minutes and then another 5 and then another 8. So it's fluctuating, but she's holding her oxygen better and better. So if we keep going that way, we can start to lower her oxygen from 1 liter and then wean her off completely, I think, in the next couple of months. So I'm baffled. The doctors are baffled. We have a good trust and relationship, and they have never seen anything like that. Mm-hmm. I never seen anything like that. So the other things I see on her is wound healing. She's sleeping amazing. She's always hungry. She's a little Pac-Man now. She has a little birthmark on her head, which was bigger, and it was completely bald, never any hair on it. And it's, I don't know if you can see, but it's growing in. There's hair on it. Mm-hmm. The other thing, she had 3 eye surgeries. Hi, honey, can you see your eyes? And she has a little, let's take off your glasses. She has a little scar tissue from her eye surgery in her left eye. And you can see that little white thing. Mm-hmm. And it's flattening out. It's basically going away slowly. It's dissolving, the body's dissolving it and healing it. And, she's moving more, she's stronger, she has a much better head control. She's verbalizing more. She's trying to sit up. She started to move her legs again a little bit. She lost a lot. She was in bed for 2 years. So, neurologically, you can see the differences because I did that. So I test her neurological reflexes, and her nails are strong. And yeah, I'm very happy. Everybody's amazed. And what I see on myself, because she doubled her body weight in the last 2 years, she's now almost 60 pounds. So I carry her a lot every day. So yes, we just took a trip around a waterfall, stairs up and down 600 meters, and I was carrying her the whole time. And I got tired, but I nowhere near that. I usually exhausted after a day, and I was pretty good. I feel very calm, and it feels like I ran a marathon. I had 2 days of spa. I slept 2 days, and I wake up very calm. I have mental clarity. I can multitask with ease. I can take care of her with no pain. It almost feels like we had some chiropractic issues. That's why we went to California. Mm-hmm. It feels like I'm taller, like somebody's pulling me up a bit as my discs are hydrating. I feel really, really amazing. Plus the beauty side of it, my hair, my nails. I'm 41. It looks great. I get compliments. They told me I can pass for 28.
Yes.
So yes, we're stronger. We've been outside a lot. She haven't been outside for 2 years because scared to go around people, scared of the changing of the air and everything. And now she's been out so many times and she's not getting sick. She's calm, she's happy, you know, which is a big, big difference. She's smiling a lot. Yeah, she has energy too. She has too much energy actually, because she's up till midnight and 2 o'clock. So, but I don't mind, you know, if that's my biggest problem, let it be, you know, too much energy. So, yeah, yes. So we're very, very happy and feeling blessed and grateful. So, yes, she's, you know, saving her life. You know, we tried many things and we got good results with chiropractic and this and that, but nothing ever close to this. And, you know, especially because I have all the digital and clinical feedback and everything. I'm very excited. And, you know, also the other thing that, sorry, I'm going to cry a bit, but my mom was diagnosed with leukemia 3 days ago. So I sent her some patches too. So I'm so excited to find this place. I think God got it in our life in such a good time. And yeah, so I emailed everybody because, you know, in the community, I'm searching nutrition and herbs, and I know all the physiotherapies, the treatments, you name it. I have private nutritionist. I'm researching child brain development. I'm updated with the newest procedures for spine and everything. But, you know, this result is incredible. This result is incredible. So just shoot it off the rooftops and looking forward for more. And it's easy and it's affordable. And, you know, for me, I spent thousands of dollars on, you know, this machine and air purifier and water and, you know, therapies here and therapies there. And, you know, by the time, you know, it's been 14 years, you're trying to find the right thing. So I could buy a couple of houses, but sometimes I had to sell my house to try something, go to another country. And, you know, this is easy, very affordable, which is, you know, amazing. So I already contacted, you know, the research department of my hospital. I said, this result is too good to ignore it, you know. You have to see this. You have to see this. And they are thanking me, and they sent heart emojis, and they're going to pass it on and they're going to look into it. And yes. So, yes. Thank you.
Wow. I wish I was there to hug you.
Hi. I know. Thank you. And hug her. Yes. She's... Hi, honey. Hug.
I don't even know what questions to ask you.
Yeah.
Ask anything.
I just want to say
anything. Also, I want to add, if I may add, that with the use of the patch, it also said that you have to be really hydrated. So I think those things are important, you know, hydration. I can see it on her saturation. So hydrate, do a good diet when you do the patch, because you run the best results. You know, stem cells cannot generate from sugar and chips and, you know, Coca-Cola.
You're exactly right, Judith.
You know, so you have to have a good diet. Don't accept for a miracle if you're smoking and drinking and, you know, so, okay, organic food and a little bit of moving, and, you know, you get better results. But I feel amazing. I know how much it is to care for a child, a 14-year-old full-size child, you know, every day.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
And we have a house which is not changed to like not handicap accessible. So we go up and down a lot of stairs, in and out of the car sit still. So yeah, and I'm not complaining. I'm in a really good strength. I have a garden. I'm growing my vegetables, taking care of a house alone, taking care of Ariana, doing all the research, cooking, blending, and I have to say that with this patch, gives me the energy to do it, and it gives us the healing. So very, very happy. Very happy.
Well, amazing, Judith. God bless you. And Ariana, and you are an amazing woman and mother.
Thank you. And we all are. We're here to help each other and love each other and pass the kindness. And, you know, as the whole world is us, it's all love and it's all kindness. So everybody's happier when, you know, the hardest thing, being sick is harder than being healthy, and being positive and happy, you know. I think it helps you mentally, like depression. You know, I feel I'm quite a happy person anyways, but, you know, it gives me, I feel like give me a little extra push of everything, happiness, calmness,
Yes.
mostly calmness,
Yes.
you know.
Yes.
I
Well, you have
wake
an
up
amazing and remarkable attitude, and God bless you. And I do have one quick question, if I could get through it.
anything, I'm here for that.
Where are you putting the patch, the X39?
I'm
On
putting
Ariana?
a patch exactly where they say it for now.
So on the back of the neck?
On the back of the neck, and then under her belly button.
Okay. Awesome.
Hi, happiness. So actually, because everybody's talking about it, but I think there's a reason they say it, you know, with the sieve on everything going for your spine and the spinal fluid. I think this is the most spot. And your second immune system is your digestive system. So I think, you know, that's where I would start. And when you feel a little bit better, maybe I would put it somewhere. But I think, you know, it has to absorb to those places, because, you know, it's in the spinal column and the digestive system, you know. And but I know that.
Go ahead.
That I know that, you know, because her lungs regenerating, I know that all her organs, all her cells regenerating, you know. It's not just the lung, it's the heart, it's the liver, it's the kidney, it's the blood vessels, it's the skin cells, it's the eye cells, it's the neurons. So, you know, stem cells, they basically do everything for us. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
looking forward to
so thankful that you guys found this product.
Yes, me too. And I'm so excited. I emailed all my friends. The other thing I forgot, that because she's special needs and she never moved, she is much looser. It took us a lot of chiropractic sessions to get this loose in a month, you know. So Dr. Bergman is amazing, and it's not gonna change your spine physically, but you're gonna get looser.
Absolutely.
Moldable, flexible.
And you're right to combine all these modalities. And they work well together synergistically. Chiropractic, good nutrition, lots of hydration. So very, very smart. And all these things will help. But what an amazing, amazing story. And everyone on this line just wishes you both the best. God bless you. You're an amazing person.
Thank you. Thank you so much, everybody. And everybody, I wish all you the very best, right? You being cute? Bye, everybody.
Oh, she's smiling.
Oh, yeah, she's happy.
Yes,
she feels good. See, I feel good.
Thank you, Judith.
Thank you, everybody.
Just to say again, I'm Dr. Ali Grimston. I'm a GP and functional medicine doctor in the UK, as you can tell from my accent. And I came across this technology that I'm going to share with you today in February 2023, when a very good friend of mine suggested I take a look. Just as you're taking a look today. So we're asking you, have you been patched yet? We are using this small Band-Aid type thing that you can see on this lady's skin. And what this does is it magically elevates a peptide called GHKCU, copper peptide. And that in turn activates stem cells. And that in turn helps us to regenerate our organs and our tissues. And we're going to find out a little bit today about how that happens and what the effects of that might be. So LifeWave is a company that's been going for over 20 years. And this X39 patch that we're focusing on today is a stem cell reactivation technology in a patch. The company's been established since 2004 and it's open in over 75 countries, 87 at the last count. And the X39 patch, which launched in 2019, has really enabled the company to grow. David Schmidt is the CEO and inventor of X39. He has a big heart and he started looking at age reversing and energy. He started working on energy in 2003, 2004, working with the Navy SEALs, and went on to specialize in age reversal with the stem cell research in 2008. And that's what makes this so exciting. Many of you will have heard of peptide therapy. Many of you will have heard of stem cell therapy. This is that combined. We have over 200 patents now, which enable this product and this technology to be unparalleled with no competition. And some of the things that we do is we are elevating copper peptide, and any effects of elevating copper peptide, including activation of stem cells and improving energy and elevating antioxidants, is patented. So why do we want to activate stem cells with X39? Well, the fewer stem cells you have, the faster you age and the slower you heal. And by the time we're 60, we've got 90% fewer numbers of stem cells that are active than when we were a teenager. And that again is many times less than when we are first born. And even in the uterus, the number of stem cells is reducing all the time. And as you get older, you will have noticed that if you cut yourself, it takes longer for your cut to heal. You will have noticed that your skin is less supported as you get older. You bruise easily. And in fact, these same changes are going on inside the body as outside the body. So how does X39 work? Well, it's a proprietary form of phototherapy, which means light therapy. And it involves patented nanocrystal technology. Nobody can copy this, it reflects our own infrared light to activate the stem cells. How do we wear X39? Well, these two sites are the ones that we used in studies, because studies have to have consistency in order to be taken seriously. If you've got them, if you've got 100 people in there, putting them in different places, you can't compare one with another. So you have to have consistency. We often use acupressure points. These are 2 acupressure points, but you can put them anywhere. So you wear your patch for 12 hours, you take it off for 12 hours so that you can recover and rejuvenate and refresh. This enables you to be more responsive to the next patch. And you can wear patches day and night, different patches. You then throw the patch away, or many of us use them again as a second patch with a new one, or use them on our animals. All of my 5 dogs have bandanas, and I stick the patches to the inside of their bandanas, so they're getting the benefits of that extra time. You put a new patch on and repeat. You can wear more than one at a time, and drink plenty of water. Hydration is really crucial. Some of the long-term results that we see include that 4,000 genes begin to reset within the first few days. Within 6 weeks, the brain becomes more balanced, and within 3 months, your collagen is increased. We even see reversal of heart age now that we can measure cardiovascular age with modern technology. It really is age reversing. Some of the benefits that we see include increased strength. We notice that we can lift weights better. We are in a better position to keep going. We get better mental clarity, reduced brain fog. We get reduced inflammation and joint discomfort, increased stamina and energy and vitality, restored musculoskeletal conditions and improved sleep and improved skin appearance. So we want to aim to achieve optimal health, and we are well on the way to that, a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being. So X39 works wherever your body needs it most. We recommend using it for at least 90 days, but ideally for 90 days plus an additional month for every decade of life. So if you're 60 years old, we would recommend you use it for 9 months before giving up on it. This is because some of the changes that are happening, you can guarantee that there are improvements happening in your body, but some may be invisible. And we will see optimal results at that 9-month point if you are 60. And that doesn't mean those improvements stop then. I have carried on seeing new things changing after a year, after 12, after 14 months, after 18 months. And everyone's body is unique, so your results may not be the same as somebody else's. Here we have some images from a study, a case series of looking at people over a period of time, over 6 weeks of using X39. And you can see in the first picture on the left, there's a lot of red and orange in this picture. That represents inflammation. In this case, it's a brain scan, so this is inflammation in the brain. And you can see that there's inflammation in the brain, and they also measured brain coherence, which is the way the brain waves are working in sync. And there was a lack of brain coherence at the beginning. After 3 weeks on the X39 patch of daily use, we already see a reduction in inflammation in the brain scan, and we see an improvement in brain coherence. By the time we reach session 3, after 6 weeks of X39, there's a complete turnaround of inflammation in the brain and better brain coherence. And when she came in, her brain was hyperactive. But over the time, over that 6 weeks, her brain calmed down dramatically. And at the second week, she was already calm. So it's really interesting to see these objective measures of what's happening. Here we can see inflammation reduction in the heart. And here you can see visually why it's important to not just say, well, I'm going to try the X39 for a month, because a month just isn't enough. Okay, so some people see a huge improvement within a month or a week or a day or even an hour. But in other people, it's delayed. And here you can see, although there's a reduction in inflammation, it's not really that significant after 2 months. But after 5 months, there's a huge change in the amount of red and orange and yellow in that scan. Here we can see somebody with reduced inflammation after just 30 minutes of X39. On the left, you can see a man's back. You can see there's a lot of inflammation represented by the red and the browny orange here in the upper back and in the lower back. But after 30 minutes of X39, you can see there's much less of those darker colors, red and orange. And this lady was just carrying X39 for 30 minutes. And you can see the reduction in inflammation in the joints at the base of the thumb before and after that. You may be thinking, well, perhaps it's just a placebo effect. And placebo is very powerful. Those of us who are in the healing arts know that. But here we can see that animals, horses, dogs are influenced by, see a healing result from patches as well. In this case, this is after 4 months of the Eon patch, which reduces inflammation. And you can see how much less inflammation there is in the shoulder joint before and after. And I'd like to just play you a quick video of a little dachshund who had paralyzed back legs. Just go. So you can see that the legs are paralyzed. Dachshunds are bred to have very long backs, which puts them at risk of slip discs and other back issues. And this is just 4 days of X30. Believe it or not, Dachshund, the same dog, unbelievable. And we see results like this in humans and animals alike. And once you've seen results like this, once you've got some feedback from a couple of people, you just don't feel that you want to stop sharing this. So here you can see some changes in the skin. And when you look at these changes in the skin, so Dr. Stacey on the left and a couple of other women, don't just think in terms of vanity, although those of us over 40 do recognize that once we reach 40 and start seeing those wrinkles, we start thinking, oh, these things are changing. I don't think I like that. But I want you also to think in terms of, if this is happening on the outside, the same thing is happening on the inside, not in terms of wrinkles, but in terms of reversing aging. And so where we see such huge changes in the skin and the wrinkles around the mouth and the eyes and the neck and the top of the chest, the décolletage, that area, which is so sun exposed in us women. The same thing is happening in the liver, in the cardiovascular system, in your pancreas, in your arteries, in your nerves, all over the body, your hormone systems. And we really see this time and again. These pictures represent some other examples of improvement that we've seen. So you can see here improvement in vitiligo in the top left and the top middle. These two gentlemen have vitiligo, which is an autoimmune condition where you get depigmentation of the skin. Of course, it doesn't show up so much in people with paler skin color, but the effect in these people is huge. And you can see how depressed particularly this gentleman is when he's affected by it. And he's seen such an improvement after just 3 months of X39. In this case, it was a year of X39. This lady has Bell's palsy, which is another autoimmune condition. We consider it to be. It may be viral. We don't really know what the cause is. But the reason she is wearing the patch over her eye is because the cornea is damaged in Bell's palsy, because you've got these left side of the face is paralyzed. She can't lift the left side of her mouth, and she can't close her left eye, which means you can't keep lubricating the cornea. You can't blink when there's dust coming into your eye, and it's very damaging to your vision. She had been stuck like that for 18 months before she came across X39. And after 3 months of X39, you can see just how little paralysis is left. Here we can see psoriasis, another autoimmune condition characterized by thickened plaques in the skin. And here you can see an example of wound healing with improvements in just 12 days that are unexpected. Here you can see on the left venous stasis, you can see the blood is pooling in the veins, and after just 5 days of X39, what an improvement in that discoloration. And on the top on the right, you can see examples of live blood analysis. This is microscopy of live blood taken directly from the patient and then looked at under the microscope. It's not recognized as a modality in mainstream medicine, but we can deduce a lot from it. And here you can see on the left, these red blood cells are stacking up. These are what are called rouleaus. And this is caused by viscosity in the serum. So the fluid the red blood cells are trying to float in is too viscous for them to float freely. And that's a measure of inflammation. This means that there are inflammatory proteins present in the blood and causing this viscosity. After just 10 minutes of X39, another blood sample was taken, and you can see how freely those red blood cells are now circulating. That is crazy. I was just blown away by this. And another example of something that as a GP or any sort of mainstream doctor would recognize, as we see more and more elderly patients, having swollen ankles is extremely common. And here we see after 3 weeks of X39, this lady can actually see her ankles again. This is unheard of, believe me. We really struggle with this as a symptom because although people used to just throw diuretics at these people, that just damages the kidneys and causes diabetes and causes gout. It's just not a good idea. And to have something that's non-pharmaceutical to do this, to have this same effect, is incredible. Here you can see some examples of wound healing over time. And here you can see some examples of reversal of hair loss, which again was shocked me. I was just blown away. Many ways in which this technology can help you. This is it info.com, so I'd like you to explore this later. Do take a note of it. You can take a screenshot if you like so that you can look at it. This is a fantastic website because it enables you to delve into this topic as superficially or as deeply as you want. So everybody's got a different personality. They've got fewer or more questions. On this site, you can see interviews with doctors. You can see interviews with the creator, David Schmidt. You can see testimonials, patents and studies, all sorts of things. And on the top right, you can see the page of testimonials there. And each of those links leads to more videos. Now, X39 is our foundation patch. It's the most important patch. It's the one that actually activates stem cells, which is this huge way forward for us. Here are some of the other support patches that we see. We recommend the Eon as the first patch to use if you're able to get 2 sleeves of patches. But X49 is fantastic. It cleared my brain fog that I was getting from working with computers all day. It improves muscle mass, bone density, and heart health. And what it does with computers and EMFs, if you're concerned about the impact of technology on our cells, which you should be, it aligns our copper ions within our body in conjunction with X49 and X39 together. And that enables our body to be like a Faraday cage. Those of you might remember that from physics years ago. And that actually stops the EMFs from entering the body, which is great because our body's reaction to these electromagnetic fields is to treat it like a virus. IceWave is a paired patch. They're using 2 at a time with that. And it's used for pain reduction, ache relief, no side effects. We have people coming off strong painkillers using this and X39 together. Glutathione is an immune booster. Now, it's this strong antioxidant, really powerful liver support. Those of us who are medical know how mind-blowing it is to have something that increases glutathione levels by 300%, because a supplement doesn't do that, and even IV glutathione only does that on a very temporary basis. Carnosine, which helps with brain function, memory, and focus, and also lengthens telomeres, which means it's truly anti-aging. We know that the telomeres, which are the caps on the ends of the chromosomes, are a marker of aging. Eon, which reduces stress and inflammation, sometimes referred to as the happy patch. And if you want any more information about any of these, speak to the person who invited you to today's talk. Silent Night regulates sleep. It increases natural melatonin, so you're not introducing melatonin outside the body. It improves the quality of your sleep and the quantity of your sleep. And in one study of insomniacs, there was a 66% increase in the duration of their sleep, which is incredible. Energy Enhancer is another of the two where you're using two patches at once, Ice Wave and Energy Enhancer. And the person who invited you here can explain to you how to use those. Each sleeve contains 30 patches, so for most of them it's a month's use. The Energy Enhancer and Ice Wave, that's 15 days, probably because you're not going to need to use them every day. And with glutathione and carnosine, often we say you can alternate with these, therefore these will give you 2 months worth of usage. SP6 Complete helps with weight, appetite, and hormones. And the Alavida helps with skin, reduces wrinkles, and builds collagen. There's also one called the AccuLife, which is like Ice Wave, but for horses it has a stronger adhesive.
Guys, thanks for watching. As you can see, it's a no-brainer. We are 20-year-old pioneers in the LifeWay technology. On this slide, you'll find QR codes. You can scan them and go and see more testimonials on there. If you want to see the full testimonials, it will be on YouTube, Rumble, and BitChute. That will give you the full testimonials with a presentation of how to wear the product and what you can get out of it. If you're one of those that struggle with data, you can follow me on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and X. And if you want to know more about the product, you can scan my QR code for my WhatsApp. It'll take you direct to my WhatsApp, and I can send you information, or if you want to know more. Next to the WhatsApp, you'll find another QR code with an M in it, and that takes you to my email address, and you can drop me an email. And then on the other side of the slide, you'll find Telegram. If you use Telegram, you can scan there and it takes you straight to my Telegram. So, no hassle to try and type it in and whatnot. And this is Johnny signing out from Johannesburg, South Africa. Live a happy, younger, healthier, and pain-free life. And I'll see you next week. Thank you. Bye.